feed dump. This week, Twitch experimented with playing the stock market and it went poorly. So in honor of things that Twitch shouldn't do, we're all things that Twitch shouldn't play. I'm a xylophone. Joining me this week is the Google car.
Can you think of anything worse than the thought of Twitch driving a vehicle on a road that you have to share? This is such a bad idea.
And CNC routing.
If you kids keep shouting left, I'm going to turn this router straight around and go back to 0.
A Sydney man was arrested after police assumed they had found a homemade bomb in his house. It turned out to be a homemade sex toy.
How loud does your vibrator have to be for your neighbors to call the cops on you?
Was it ominously ticking? Did it sound like an animal in distress? Did it beep like a truck backing up?
Now I'm picturing a sex toy that you have to start like a chainsaw, just...
Gotta work that choke. I feel like we're missing out on some very key information here about the device. Is it the kind that you go into or the one that goes into you?
Well, while the news stories refrain from describing the sex toy in question, they do mention that it contained a soft putty and some electronic wiring meant to simulate vibration, and it was wrapped in a plastic casing. So I think we can all guess where this is going.
Putty, wires, plastic casing. I think I'm missing something here.
That doesn't sound that ominous. It just sounds like the shopping list for an after-school pottery camp.
Okay, 1, no it doesn't. Do not send your child to any after-school camp that gives them those materials. And 2, Serge, he was putting the putty in the tube and making it vibrate so he could make something he could put his penis in. He was making a cyber vag or a robo-anus. You know, or I don't know. Something, it was a says for him to fuck.
A simulacrum, if you will.
Oh.
Nope. A regional councillor in St. Catharines, Ontario is in hot water after he responded to an email chain about road closures with a sarcastic note and a picture of a naked lady with her legs akimbo. He also sent it to 96 people.
Does this guy just have a profound misunderstanding of what emoji are? I mean, I've heard of a sideways smile being referred to as a lady's downstairs area, but normally in an email it's just like a colon and a parentheses, maybe with a dash in the middle. Not like this.
Maybe this guy got visited by an email fairy that said, post the last image in your phone to find out why the road closed.
I subscribe to the inbox zero theory of email management, so I have a ton of traps set up, but I never see those fairies.
What do you bait an email fairy trap with?
Mainly elderly and extended family members. Basically anyone who doesn't know that reply all doesn't mean reply to all of the email.
So that explains how he sent porn to 96 people. But it doesn't explain why.
We may never know, Serge, but here are the facts, such as they are. The guy was originally responding to another city councillor and wrote the following. Ugh. There must have been a sale on these multi-million-dollar tax-funded non-functional arches. Guess who put these up in Ottawa? You're right if you said drum roll, please. Pomerleau. What a joke. Now, Pomerleau is a Quebec-based construction firm with offices all across the country. And after he figured out what happened, he did send this note out to everybody he had emailed the naked lady to, saying, I sent this email as soon as I became aware of the terrible message sent, apologizing for the unacceptable content. I take full responsibility for the lack of judgment in leaving my regional email system unlocked. So he's basically claiming somebody else sent that rude note. And naked lady with her vag out. I don't believe him.
Really? He's going with the I was hacked defense? Oh, come on, man.
What are you talking about, Serge? This makes perfect sense. We've all got that one email signature in our accounts that's full of pornography, and we know to shut that off when we're actually sending out official emails. So, of course, if someone came in and just started using our email, they'd have that default signature set and it'd be fine, right? Everyone's got one of those. Right, guys?
No. And this guy should just admit what he did and just own up to it, because that's cool. When I was a teenager, I sent emails that had Pearl Jam lyrics as the signature, and that's ridiculous and shameful, but I can just own that, and I'm cool, right?
I'd like to formally apologize for the previous remarks. I will take full responsibility, but my body was left unintended, and unfortunately, due to that lapse in security, certain statements were made that normally would not be made by me.
Huh. Who did say those things, Ian?
Unfortunately, Serge, the logs have been wiped clean. We may never know the true identity of those people who were responsible for those comments, but rest assured that actions will be drafted to be completed to make sure that this sort of intrusion never happens again.
A woman from Saanich, which is literally the town right next to me in the Greater Victoria metropolitan area, has been arrested after going on a mayhem spree. Starting about 10:30 at night, she thought it would be a great idea to start ramming cars at random, including cop cars, and went through 3 municipalities before finally being caught. Turns out she was drunk.
Oh, of course she was drunk. A sober person can get through 3 or 4 municipalities by just cutting a corner.
Ian isn't kidding. You start in Shelburne, which is in Saanich. Take a right turn, you're on Hillside. Now you're in Victoria. Keep going straight. Hillside turns into Gorge. Now you're in Esquimalt. That's like 3 municipalities, 1 turn, 5 minutes. 4 without traffic.
We may never know why this woman did this, but I have my own personal pet theory. So she's one of those Oak Bay ladies who lunches, and she received some terrible news from her doctor. She's run out of skin and she can't get any more facelifts. So after a 9 mimosa brunch, she decides it's time to cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war, which in Oak Bay parlance means getting into her Volvo and ramming Susan's car repeatedly because she's known her from the PTA for years and she's a total bitch. And once you've taken out Susan's Subaru, why stop there?
I have my own theory for this, Kathleen. Sunshine, our woman, was living in Fernwood, woke up in the morning and found out that all of her organic corn that she was growing was eaten by her chickens. So enraged, she took it out the only way she could, on the community and the vehicles, the oppressors, the man.
Or it was just an old lady from James Bay. The temperature dipped below 0 for a fraction of a second. She couldn't find her chains, so she dipped into her whiskey supplies to stay warm.
Ha ha! Local jokes! I bet our 9 viewers from Victoria are doubled over with laughter and just holding their sides in rollicking hilarity. And for the rest of our viewers, there may be better sources of news, but they don't have Serge and Ian, and they don't go on extended diatribes about things that nobody else will get, and they don't have this hat, which is an authentic Tennessee State Troopers hat. So it just kind of fits our traffic theme for the day. That's all I have to say. Look at my authority. Yeah. I bet if our lady had seen me in this hat, she would not have tried to hit my car.
I think the police may have overreacted a bit. With modern explosives like C4, you're perfectly safe sticking your dick inside as long as you don't nut like a debt cap.